Hey folks, thanks again for tuning in to Dude Craft Guitars. It's Day at the Dude Ranch. This is actually what I had in mind when I thought of doing Day at the Dude Ranch. I was going to show you a day of this dude at the Dude Ranch making stuff. And somehow it turned out to be guitar building videos, which is great because that's obviously what I do here. But rather than just focus on one guitar, as we've been doing the Knobboy, what we're going to do on this episode is I'm going to show you how I go into full factory mode. And one-man factory here, that's what I am. Because I've got guitars that need to get out. Like this one, this is a short scale, it's MS-24, 24-inch scale. This one is a bit longer, it's a 28-inch scale, it's an 8-string. That one's got to go as soon as the pickups ever get here. This one is going to South Africa. That one is... the paint is curing on the body, but while it's doing so, we're going to take care of that. This one is going to be a conversion neck that's going to be available. I think I've got a 51 model that I might put that on myself. And then, of course, like I said, the Knobboy. As you know, I am gluing this neck in, setting it in, and I want to make sure I have all the frets done before I put it on. So that's what we're doing today. We are actually going to be taking care of all the fret work here. So, of course, I've got my towel covering up my sans flat. Don't want to scratch anybody up. And we'll be taking care of all the details, getting these things going. This one still needs some work on the headstock, but again, this is fret day. So I'm going to not pay attention to the other stuff that needs to be done. Obviously, this one needs a logo. But it's fret day, James. Stay focused. Same thing with this one. Doesn't even have tuner holes. But this is fret day. We're going to be taking care of frets. What that means is once they get to this stage to almost being completely finished, that's where I like to go back, make sure that these frets are nice and level. You want this fret here and this fret here to be on the same playing field. Want to be nice and level. Sometimes that means we got to adjust the truss rod a little bit, bend the wood, and then sometimes, of course, it just means that we are going to be using a sanding beam to make sure that when I'm sanding this one, I'm also sanding this one. So they're all in the same level playing field, pun intended. And then in doing so, we're going to be flattening them, and flat frets don't play very well, so they've got to be round again. There's a lot to that. But if we do it like in a conveyor system, which kind of what I'm going to do here, a factory system, I can knock these out in about, I've got 5 here. It takes not that much more time to do 5 than it does to do 3. And that 3, not much more time than it does to do 1. So I'm just going to do them. This is fret days. Okay, so the first thing I like to do before I go any further is when we're going to be doing this, we're going to be taping up the fretboards. You'll see that here very shortly. But before I tape anything up, I want to make sure that this fretboard is level. Now I've got a couple different leveling beams. They're notched for a reason, so that they fit the scale of the guitar you're working on. Some of these, I've had to modify a little bit to fit extra scales. I've got some more around here somewhere, but with the remodel, things are in weird places. Probably where they should be, except I don't know where they are, where that is. So as you can see by this one, this is pretty level. So basically what you want is the bottom of this ruler touching the top of that fretboard. You're not worried where the frets are at this point. You want to know where the fretboard is. So this looks pretty good. And I say that because it's not perfect, but I don't know if I could fix it any more than that with the adjustment of the truss rod. Now let me show you how the truss rod works. It's basically, this is what your truss rod is, sits inside that channel. You've seen me put the neck pieces together before. But here's how it works. When you put this wrench in there, and come up in the slot, and you're going to turn it. If you turn, let's say this is towards the treble strings, it's going to have a spread apart, or what we call a bow effect. So it's going to bow the bottom, whereas if you turn it towards the bass strings, it's going to bow the top. Now that bow effect we usually call a back bow, and this bow effect we call a relief. Don't know why. I didn't invent this guitar language. But there it is. So what we're going to do with this one, I'm noticing it's got just a little bit of a, looks like a back bow. Not a lot, but let me see if I can fix it. Now remember, to get a back bow, I had to come towards the bass string. So you'd think the opposite of that would be go towards the treble strings, right? Now, just turning the rod a little bit, you saw how much it made it move. You don't have to turn a lot, and you don't want to turn a lot at a time. However, turning the rod alone is not going to get that baby to move for you. So what I usually do is kind of help it out a little bit. And that is why I've got a gut, to help out. It's part of my job. And that's almost there. Let's do just a little touch more. And bear with me, I'm using tripod camera, doing all this myself, so hopefully I can get that in the camera for you. Oh, and if you don't see, you'll just have to believe me because it's there. So that's where we want. When we're doing leveling of the frets, it makes no sense to level on a neck that's not level. Okay, so we've got them done. So now it's a matter of polishing, and then we'll do all the other really good stuff that I like to do one at a time. But this is the last thing we could do as a group, would be the initial polishing. And there's a lot of ways to do it. Some folks like doing it by hand. Some folks like doing it all on a buffing machine. Some folks do it with a Dremel. There's a little eraser things that folks do, especially the ones that like to do it by hand. Me personally, I like to do somewhere in the middle. I'm most likely going to be using a little spin machine. Where'd that thing go? Here it is. So I'm going to be using this little spin machine. I've got some pads that I put on it, and I'm going to start out. We got this thing up to like 600. On metal versus wood, you can jump your grades a lot higher, especially with the stainless, and just really get it going really good. And for those of you who don't understand enough of the importance of polishing frets, it's not just to make them look pretty. It actually does create a better sound when they don't have a gritty feel to them. On the string, the tone is a lot clearer. Now, this one's got a Floyd Rose coming with the locking nuts, but these all have 0 frets. So I am going to be laying a 0 fret in there. I do save it to last because now that these are down a little bit, this one's going to be fresh right out of the box crown, and I like it that way. In getting that, I will be cutting it and shaping it just like we did this. You know, these frets, it's the same, you know, hammer press, shape, crown, that kind of stuff. I won't need to flatten it. It's going to be as crowned as it comes right out of the package, beautifully nice and round the way it should be, and or I should say off the roll. Fret wire roll. Anyway, so I'm going to get that done, get that going. Again, there's no reason for you to watch me full time, especially since the compressor is going to be as loud as all blazes. And so I'm just going to whip right through it, to do some hyperlace and throw some music in there. So enjoy. Basically what I'm going to be doing is just peeling tape off, repeating the process of that, getting the tape off, and for these ones that need a 0 fret, I'll be hammering those in. You've seen that before, so no big deal. I just put it in there, I file it down a little bit on the edge, and that I'll be hand polishing, and they'll be good to go. So that's it. That's wow, knocked 5 out. Now we got dinner should be here pretty soon. I'm gonna hopefully get this done before dinner. wash my hands really well, sand off whatever stuff might have gotten on some of this raw wood, and clean off of the other stuff. Boy, it's yeah, not too shabby. These this one needs tuner holes, this one needs a logo, that one needs a logo. You know, logo over there, serial number here. You know, it's what can I say? It's been a day. It's been a good long day. I'm probably not going to come back in after dinner and do anything if I could help it, because I am beat. That really took a lot out of me. But the good news is I am done. So as I go tomorrow, I'm going to buff out the guitar body that this goes on, finish the rest of the neck, get the serial numbers on there, and yeah, load that pick guard, install that Floyd Rose, get that one ready to go. I just confirmation on delivery of at least one of the pickups for that one, so that's going to be a beautiful thing. And yeah, what can I say? It's all part of the gig. Oh, dirty. Yuck. And but that's all part of it. So once again, thanks guys. I can't say it enough. Thank you for tuning in to Dude Craft Guitars. Help me grow the channel. Please continue that. I appreciate it. Click the like, subscribe button. Leave comments, good, bad, or otherwise. I don't care. I'll read them. I'll reply to them, or you know, I'll ignore them. One way or the other, right? What you got to lose? So come back. Ring the bell so you know when the next episode is, and share this with friends. And what can I say again? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for choosing Dude Craft Guitars.